I'm way too big.
Start with a crit. Again, this is on Tactician. This guy has 91 HP, level 8, 18 armor class, and I hit him for almost all of his HP. Now, if I hit him a second time, it'll probably kill him. This will be an overkill if I hit him with this, so I'm gonna actually target someone else. Go for this one. Oh wow, 2 crits back to back. Are these about 19 or 20? This one's a 20. This one was also, okay, I guess it's just my lucky day. Let's see how much damage. 25 HP left. This one has 14 HP left. Wow. Talk about massive damage. But yeah, this is insane. Look at the damage. Trying to hit a regular attack so I could like compare. Let's see, 25 minus this. Alright, he's dead. Well, that's what a regular attack without any sneak attack or anything triggering looks like. Rolled a 5 for damage, I still ended up doing almost 30 damage. Look at that. Thunder damage is on the low end. This one's guaranteed 2. Nothing else had to trigger. So even with a regular attack, I'm hitting for over 30 damage. Most of the times you will actually do that, and that's both of my actions. Now, I could do the cloud here, but I find that if I do another one here and then another one here, it just starts chaining and making the whole thing obscured. And right now I don't have vision that lets me see. So I'm just going to try to keep the fog within a certain place so I don't have to like obscure myself. I could also get behind the fog, which might be smarter to do before you attack someone, especially if you're engaging in a fight. But yeah, they're going to keep calling more engagement with the eyeballs, and this thing is going to get really packed. My game actually crashed with how many enemies that showed up. But yeah, that's why I don't do haste, because I did haste before and 10 turns ended. So again, I'm gonna go right outside the fog, as you can see, right when the fog disappears. They don't see me. I'm still hidden, but my blinded is gone. So again, this would be overkill, so I'm gonna hit someone else brand new. Alright, so here's how you get the item. It's at the last inn.
Blood, this is heavy.
Here we go, the last inn. The NPC that sells it, it's Mattis. Script through your dialogue.
Fight in that.
Trade.
Nice try, Shorty. Keep it up though, and you'll
And
be
there it is,
scamming
Cloak
with
of
the
Cunning
greats
Brume.
in no time.
If you don't have that NPC here,
Check it out.
if you don't have the NPC here, it's probably because you didn't do certain something that I don't want to spoil with this guy. His name is Roland. You'll see him at Emerald Grove, and without spoiling, all you have to do is make sure he does not leave the grove. So convince him not to leave the Emerald Grove. This is what he looks like. Alright, so let's make the class.
Dost thou require? No.
Guess I'm broke. Alright.
Interesting selection. Free with the tape.
I don't know if you knew how to do that, but you could always pickpocket Withers. You can also use them as like a test dummy. If you need to test damages. It's not fully accurate, but yeah. He never gets mad about anything.
Fate. Dost thou require? As
All you need is to have 3 levels in Rogue. To start with, I like to have 16 in Strength. Constitution's not important because you're not going to be taking damage. For this build specifically, I'm going to want Wisdom. Because I'm going to finish off as Ranger, which my spell... It's a spell modifier damage comes from Wisdom. That's what Rangers use, but Rogue uses Intelligence. So since I'm going to finish off as Ranger, I'm going to go with Wisdom. But if you're just going to use Rogue, I'm going to say go with having 16 Intelligence instead. Or if you pick like Bard later on or something like that, go with Charisma. Depending on your spellcasting modifier, that's the stat you want out of these 3. So yeah. Also Dexterity, I'm going to dump it to 8 over here because I'm also going to be using a glove that gets me 18 Dexterity and a +1 to my attack roll. So don't need that as well. And then for the rest of the stat, I don't really care. So just gonna... Let's do this. Sure. You want athletics because pushing. Stealth is definitely important for this, and I just get insight because I don't know, it's cool. Persuasion's good too since I'm the main face of my party. Definitely again stealth. You want stealth. One with Deception here. The next 2 levels, you don't have to do any thinking about this one. Just straight up accept, because you do need the Hide and Disengage. These 2 as bonus action is crucial. And then Rogue level 3, you're going to get Fast Hands. And at this point, at level 3, with the Cape combined, you're already unkillable. I'm just going to exit here, just show. Okay, at level 4, I'm going to multi-class into Ranger. Now, I'm only level 8, so that's why I find Ranger to be the best fit, but if you're a different level or higher level, whichever it is, you might come up with a better build or different build, so here we go. Start with Ranger. I just picked Ranger Knight because of the heavy armor proficiency. I don't know. I get Fire because I already have Poison. Fire's pretty common. I guess I'll take Perception. Level 2 Ranger. Again, this is the fog cloud that your character creates whenever you disengage. It's just this one is much bigger and this one requires concentration. Yeah, same effect. A couple good things here you could pick up. You could pick up Goodberry. That could help you with a necklace that you could wear that gives you poison damage anytime you heal. So you could like start the fight. Also, there's a ring that gives you Bless every time you heal yourself. So you could, if you put both of those on and then you just consume the Goodberry at the beginning of your turn, you'll be getting some benefit out of it. But that's a little too complicated and it's not necessary. I don't like wasting my turn doing that. You could again also get Fog Cloud if you want to use your 2 bonus actions to, instead of using both of them to, you know, disengage and hide, you'll be able to use one of them to hide, and then the other one, if you have like dual crossbows, you could use it to attack, get an extra attack in your turn. But I'm not going to do either one of those. I already have a teammate that gives me Long Strider, but you could pick that one up. That's a good pickup. I also really like Enhanced Leap to just transfer throughout the game. I'm just going to pick up Speak with Animal and Enhanced Leap, because like I said, you're going to get Long Strider from someone else anyway. And those 2 are really good. But yeah, these 2 are the good options as well. Hunter's Mark is nice too, but for now I'm just not going to do anything with concentration. Huge pickup is Archery here. You want the +2 to your ranged weapon attacks. You're going to need that because you're going to get -5 to your accuracy whenever we pick up the feat. Sure, I'll just pick up Long Strider here. You want the Hunter one. So far I found Hunter to be the best. And then here you have a choice between Colossal or Horde Breaker. Now, I found it so that Horde Breaker is really good if the enemies are grouped together, but since you're not going to have that happen very often, most of the time they're going to be spread apart and they're not going to be moving closer unless you have like teammates. But even then, it's like, it's very situational. If they do stand together, then you'll get like an extra attack in that turn, which could be good. But I think Colossal Slayer is just much safer to do. You get a +1d8 damage, but that's not it. This combined with the build I'm going to make, you're actually going to get a guaranteed 6 damage at least. At least 6 damage, probably upwards of more than that. So 14 probably. 14 damage, maybe 13. But yeah, Colossal Slayer I'm gonna go with. I'm not changing anything. And then you get the feet. I'm not changing anything. There's a huge pickup here. We're gonna pick up Sharpshooter. This one you get -5 to your attack roll, which is really bad for your accuracy, but we're going to compensate for that. But in addition, we're going to get +10 to our damage, which is huge. Also, you get a bonus where you don't have to have high ground, and you're not going to get a penalty for being low ground for your range attacks. And then finally, at level 5, we get extra attack, which is huge. And that's about it. That's me already at level 8. I'm just going to pick up Pass Without Trace, so you can pick up whatever. This one's decent, I guess. You don't need it, though. That's it, the build is complete, and now that I picked up Ranger, I'm going to explain all the stats. Okay, here's the NPC that gives you the +2 to your strength permanently. Her name is Araj Oblodra, I hope I said it right. All you need to do it without spoiling is you have to bring Asterion here and then do whatever she asks. That's how you get +2 to your strength permanently. Start explaining it from the top down. So the crown we're using, the Diadem of Arcane Synergy. I don't know if this crown is bugged, but it's extremely effective. Maybe they'll fix it, maybe they won't, but what it means is when you inflict a condition, gain Arcane Synergy for 2 rounds. Arcane Synergy, your weapon attacks deal additional damage equal to your affected entity's spellcasting ability modifier. Now again, I finished off as Ranger, so my spellcasting modifier is Wisdom, which is at 16, so it's giving me +3. Depending on which class you choose to finish off, that's going to depend on one of these three. Now, here's where the bug comes in. If I use, say, Disengage, that itself triggers Arcane Synergy, as you can see on the left side of my screen. Or if I go into here, you can see Arcane Synergy for 2 turns. And a lot of other things you do throughout the fight is going to trigger this. So pretty much you're going to have this on at all times. So that's going to give me +3 to my damage anytime I attack. Next up is the cape, and I've already explained how it works, but just again, the point of the cape is whenever you disengage, you get the fog cloud, and that's why we dipped 3 points into rogue, so we could get 2 bonus actions. One, and we turned our disengage and our hide into bonus actions, so you just disengage, hide. Those are your only 2 things you gotta do, and now you're pretty much unkillable. The main reason I use the Mighty Cloth chest pieces for the +2 to strength. It helps me hit 20 strength, which helps my damage later on, and a lot of other things. Unwavering Bull, it's nice to have. I mean, it doesn't hurt. The Bull Rush class action, I never find myself using that. But it also gives me twice the equip load, so that's also nice to have. Now, I'm only wearing no armor, so I could always apply Mage armor to my character, and I have one of my companions do that for me, so my armor class goes up to 19. I love the boots of Stormy Clamor, because I find my character always inflicts reverberation on the enemies. There's so many random things that causes it. One of the things is probably my illicit powers, which, again, spoiler warning if you don't know about these. So anytime I inflict, say, ability drain, which with a ranged attack I'm going to inflict Dexterity negative, I think that's what causes reverberation, but you can use anything. The Dexterity negative is also going to help you hit your shots better because it's going to reduce the enemy's armor class. Now for the gloves, I have Gloves of Dexterity. This is crucial for this build. Your Dexterity goes straight up to 18, which is necessary for your damage and accuracy with the bow or the crossbow, whichever you use. And then I also get a +1 to my attack because of it. Here's one of the most important rings for this build. I have Risky Attack, which you gain advantage on attack rolls and receive disadvantage on saving throws. This makes it so that -5 to our accuracy is not as bad as having Risky Ring. Now, although if you play this build correctly, you can come out of the fog just right on the edge of it, and you'll get the first attack to be advantage, but your follow-up attack is not going to have advantage. So you could do without this ring, but I like having this. And the other ring, I use the Caustic Band, but you could play around with a couple different ones depending on this build. There's so many different ways to play this. So I just like having the guaranteed 2 acid damage, not to complicate anything. Again, the necklace, I haven't found something that's like amazing. Right now I have this one just in case I don't get to go first and somebody does attack me. I could have Shield and Wisdom saving throws, but Brand of the Week is good too. I used to use this one, the Venomous Revenge, which I talked about. If you heal yourself with the Gooberry or Goodberry, you get 1 to 6, but I tested it and it's not 1 to 6, it's 1 to 4. Anyway, it's extra damage for 3 turns, extra poison damage for 3 turns, 1d4. For the weapon, I like to have Knife of the Undermountain King because it gives me Organ Rearranger. Reduce the number you need to roll a critical hit while attacking by 1. So you could roll a 19 or a 20 and both is going to count as a critical. Also, when you roll 2 damage or less, re-roll the dice. I'm not sure if that affects the bow or not, but sure. The first part is good enough for me. And then for the shield, I have +2 to armor class, but also the main thing is 3 to my initiative rolls. That's huge because, again, going first is the most important thing in this build. Because if you ever go second or third or whatever, the enemy might damage you because you're not trying to take any damage. A couple alternatives to this weapon is you could use Charge Bound Warhammer, have someone else on your team pack the weapon, bond it to them, and then anyone could use it and keep the bond. Or you could do the giant. Is it Club of Hill Giant Strength? It'll give you 19 strength if you don't have as much strength as I do. What else can you do? You could do. This one is definitely. I'm gonna explain this one later on. This one's crucial. Here we go. You could get +1 to your initiative. It's nice to have. I wouldn't say that's that good of a choice, but it's better than nothing. Harmonium Halberd's another good one. You get +2 to your strength, which is going to impact how much damage you do, but you're going to get -1 to your wisdom and intelligence. So if you're going to use this, go with 17 wisdom so that it stays at 16 with the -1. What else? This one's an interesting build. If you do the Morning Frost, you get +1 to your cold damage. And you could combine that with, instead of the +2 to acid damage, you could combine that with this one's Snowburst Ring. When the wearer deals cold damage, they also create 4.5 meters circle of ice around the target. This one is kind of cool. You could have just ice floor all around the map. I try to make a complicated build with that, with like burning it afterwards to create water, and then standing on it to get like electricity from my boots. Or that spark, water sparkers. It was interesting, but again, I didn't want to complicate the build too much because it's really not a complicated build. You need like 3 buttons to beat the whole thing. But yeah, that's one of them. Another alternative is if you just want to do some melee damage. This one's a good one, Render of Mind and Body. When the wielder attacks with advantage, they deal an additional 1 to 8 psychic damage, and with the ring combined, you're pretty much always going to have advantage, so that's going to be really good damage. The shield I already explained, but now to the main thing for this build is a Titan String Bow. The weapon deals additional damage equal to your strength modifier. My strength is at 20, so I'm getting +5 anytime I shoot them, but it doesn't stop there. Because I have sneak attack as a reaction that triggers automatically. It doesn't consume a reaction, as you can see, but since it triggers automatically, whatever damage I get, which should be I think 2 to 6. So yeah, it's a 2 to 6 die, so it could go upwards of 12 damage or just 2 damage, but my strength modifier gets added to that damage, so I get +5 on that. If I had even more strength, it would be more than that. So if you have 18, you'll get +4 strength added to that. And again, it doesn't stop there. If you have the Ranger with Giant Slayer, it's going to add +5 to that as well, which is a 1d8 die. It's going to be another 1d8 whenever I hit someone with less than full HP, which is pretty much going to be anytime I pull the trigger. I think I should just show it rather than talking about it. Let me move this. So again, do not use sneak attack range. That's going to trigger automatically, and you definitely want to start with the range attack. Actually, it's better this way. So this guy has 58 HP. Alright, this one I got critical, but normally, let's say you don't. So you got 31 damage from just the regular hit. If you look, it'll say Dexterity modifier, which is 4 damage. That's getting added. 10 from the sharpshooter, plus 5 from the strength modifier. That's what I said with the Titan Bow exclusive. 2 from the ring, and then it automatically triggered sneak attack, which it's supposed to roll a 2d6, but since it was a critical, it was 4d6. But as you can see, it added +5 for my strength modifier because the Titan weapon. And then it also triggered Colossal Slayer, because by the time this triggered, he was no longer at full HP, which did, it says 46, but it's weirdly bugged. It's supposed to be 1d8. I think it's maybe 2d8 now, but point is, the strength modifier from Titan weapon is also getting added again. So I'm getting 5, 5, and another 5 here, so I'm getting 15 extra damage because of my 20 strength, and because I'm using the Titan String Bow. Final thing I wanted to show off is the armor class, Long Strider, and the Titan String buff. So if you look at it, I have 16 armor class and 8 meters of movement speed currently. Like I said, I have a teammate that gives me Long Strider. And then Mage armor. Long Strider is free, Mage armor costs 1 spell slot.
Let's move.
And after that, I have 19 armor class. It says plus 3 from the Mage armor, and then movement speed is 11 to the Long Strider. Final thing I'm going to show is how to buff the bow to do even more damage. Now, you can make some cool builds out of this if you combine the elements to do certain things, but what you need is the Drake Throat Glaive. Once you have that equipped, I'm going to move this Titan String Bow, put this right, put it right down here. And then with the Draconic Elemental Weapon, which the weapon comes with, you can put Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, or Thunder. Depending on what build you're going for, you could probably find some cool synergies, but I guess I'm just going to go with Thunder damage here. I'm going to put it on the bow. Pick up the bow. switch back to the weapon you were using or whatever build you were going for. And then if you look at the bow, it has 1d4 thunder damage added to it, so I'm hitting for 10 to 20 damage, and that's like the low end of it. It'll say buff like this until your long rest. It has a +1 to my weapon enchantment because I buffed it, and it has the damage, so you're a lot more accurate now. Overall, my attack bonus is at +10, and then -5 from the sharpshooter, but then I also have advantage, so you're gonna be pretty accurate with this bow. And when you do land the hit, it's gonna do a ton of damage. A lot of the times you might one-shot enemies or two-shot them. Now, I've used this build to take out the entire Moonrise Tower without any problem, but that's going to end up making the video over an hour long. I'm just going to demonstrate what the gist of it is so you get an idea of what to do and how everything works. Just need, like I said, 3 buttons: attack, disengage, and hide. Now, again, you want to use range attack. You do not want to start with sneak attack. Sneak attack has to automatically trigger for the most benefits. Alright, here goes nothing. So before I do that, let's look at this. 88%. This guy has 18 armor class. That's one of the higher end armor class you'll see, at least in Act 2. I haven't reached Act 3 yet. But 88% because of archery, weapon enchantment, +2 for the thing, elemental weapon, risky attack is the ring, sharpshooter and is given the -5, and then some other buffs and stuff coming in. Now, another little thing you could change is if you don't want to use that crown, you could use marksmanship hat, which will give you another 1 tier range attack rolls and throws. So I put this on, instead of 88, that's going to go up to, let's say, if my math is correct, it might be, never mind, 91. So it's a nice little boost if you want, but I think the guaranteed +3 damage, well, at least 3 damage for now. It could be even more depending on your thing. Like, let's say later on multi-class in a bard, have the extra stat for charisma, put it up to 17, then it ends up being 18. That's going to be +4 to my damage, so it does add up. But yeah, here we go. I'm doing the fight here because I want these things to see it and call more people. And another reason why I'm not using stuff like haste or any like concentration buffs like that is because a lot of the times if you're soloing, the fights are going to last more than 10 turns, which it's going to throw off your entire thing. You might actually die if you become lethargic and stuff like that. So that's why I'm not going with haste. But yeah, if you did use haste, this build would be even stronger than it is. But again, with this build, there's no potions, there's no consumable items, nothing like that's necessary. So it's like you're self-sufficient. I could go throughout this entire game from here on without having to take a long rest. And if I really need to heal, I could like change the difficulty to explore and then switch back to tactical, which like replenishes your health if you didn't already know. But yeah, that's the strategy and that's everything, and that's what I came up with. Start with a crit. Again, this is on Tactician. This guy has 91 HP, level 8. 18 armor class, and I hit him for almost all of his HP. Now, if I hit him a second time, it'll probably kill him if I don't miss, which that's what my range attack bonus is. Well, let's look into it real quick though. 29 damage. Again, it's a crit, but a lot of the time, even without crit, you'll do similar damage. 29 thunder damage is from the extra, 2 from the acid, sneak attack automatically triggered, 16 damage from the sneak attack, and then Colossal Slayer also triggered, and I got another 14 out of that. All 3 of these got +5 from the strength/titan thing from my bow. All 3 of these. So guaranteed 15 at least. Alright, let's see if I can finish him. And I missed. Alright, cool. Alright, next up, we have the 2 bonus action. I could move back a little bit, but I don't really need to. I just want to make sure I don't obscure myself. Disengage, creates the smoke, and then hide. That's it.
Right now.
And now they're just gonna act dumb and just stand around or do some stupid thing. I gotta turn off Sonic Backlash. Because I think using Sonic Backlash is gonna make it so I'm no longer hidden, so I wouldn't want to trigger that. I'm right in the thick of it, surrounded by level 8 guards all by myself, but there's not a chance they could do anything to me. Alright, Alright, this is the technique here. You don't want to just like run out there. You could, but let's say you didn't have the advantage of ring and you want to get advantage. I see it says fog right there. You want to like scoot up until the fog disappears, the fog thingy. And now I'm no longer blinded, but they still don't see me. I'm still hidden. Sometimes they will see you, but for the most part, you're still going to be hidden. And even without the ring right now, I'll get an advantage. So yeah, again, ranged attack, not sneak attack. This will be an overkill if I hit him with this, so I'm going to actually target someone else. Go for this one. Oh wow, 2 crits back to back. Are these about 19 or 20? This one's a 20. This one was also... okay, I guess it's just my lucky day. Let's see how much damage. 25 HP left. This one has 14 HP left. Wow. Talk about massive damage. But yeah, this is insane. Look at the damage. Trying to hit a regular attack so I could like compare. Let's see, 25 my this. Alright, he's dead. Well, that's what a regular attack without any sneak attack or anything triggering looks like. Rolled a 5 for damage, I still ended up doing almost 30 damage. Look at that. Thunder damage is on the low end. This one guaranteed 2. Nothing else had to trigger. So even with a regular attack, I'm hitting for over 30 damage. Most of the times you will actually do that, and that's both of my actions. Now, I could do the cloud here, but I find that if I do another one here and then another one here, it just starts chaining and making the whole thing obscured. And right now I don't have vision to let me see. So I'm just going to try to keep the fog within a certain place so I don't have to like obscure myself. I could also get behind the fog, which might be smarter to do before you attack someone, especially if you're engaging in a fight. But yeah, they're going to keep calling more engagement with the eyeballs, and this thing is going to get really packed. My game actually crashed with how many enemies that showed up. But yeah, that's why I don't do haste, because I did haste before and then 10 turns ended. So again, I'm going to go right outside the fog. As you can see, right when the fog disappears. They don't see me. I'm still hidden, but my blinded is gone. So again, this would be overkill, so I'm going to hit someone else brand new. And I think one of the reasons why I'm getting 88% accuracy, which you're probably not going to get all the time, is because, again, in the Illithid powers, one of these lets you get favorable beginnings, and I think that's why I'm getting even more. I'm getting +3 added to my accuracy because of that. So after I hit him, or even try to hit him, I think that favorable beginning is going to go away. So yeah. Finally, no critical. Let's look at the damage there. Again, hit for 30 damage, pretty much average. The other one was also not a critical. And that one was almost 30 as well for the regular. And then if we look at the rest of it, we got the 8 here, which is a low end of the roll. I got 3, which the 3 is a very low number. This one goes up to 12 from the regular, and then the 5 got added, so it became 8. This one is a 1d8, even though it says 2d6 piercing. I got a 5, and then it became 7. So I probably rolled a 2 for this. That 3 is just copy pasted. But yeah, this was a 2. So this was on the lower end of damage. You could get much higher than that. But even then, on one of my shots, I hit for this much damage. So that's pretty crazy. 42, I could go for this. It might actually kill him. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to finish this guy. So as you can see, it's 75 now instead of 88. Alright, I missed. But as you can see, he has ability drain dexterity on him. So if I examine him, his dexterity used to be 10, which was giving him another armor class, but now it's 9. So he lost a little bit of armor class. Or actually, he might be wearing heavy armor. Yeah, actually, never mind. He might be wearing heavy armor. I don't think his armor class went down. So yeah. Again, I'm going to go back in the smoke. Now, if you really wanted, you could try to get high ground with like carrying around boxes and stuff, but I find that really tedious. So you could carry 3 boxes in your inventory, especially since you have this much equip load. Just carry 3 boxes, get on top of them, and just you'd get height advantage. And if you really need the accuracy, that would help you get another accuracy. Again, these enemies, they don't have a chance. They can't do anything. They're just like waiting out the time before they die. I'm gonna target someone new this time. Okay, I might have walked a little too far forward. Nope, still good. This might make my character move. Nope, no movement. 96%. This one has less armor class, but this one has death ward, so it's not gonna die. There's no one-shotting it. Again, regular hit. Had them for 27 here. Again, this is a low number. Instead of 1d8, I hit 3, so that's pretty low. This one, again, this one wasn't a critical. As you can see, I hit 12. Out of 2d6, I had 7, which isn't exactly on the high end, but it's still... it's like about average, let's say. 12 piercing damage, just for the sneak attack plus the 5 Titan. And then again, Colossal Slayer, whatever I roll is getting added. So you're getting double 12s here from the extra Colossal Slayer plus sneak attack. That's getting added, plus this. So yeah, you're doing a ton of damage to these guys, and I'm gonna say finish it off, but it's not gonna finish it off because they're gonna cling on to their health with 1 HP. And as you can see, Dexterity -1 to their Dex. So they're sitting at 14. I think this was 15. I think this one is not wearing heavy armor. So yeah, this one probably was 15 before this. And then -1 the Dex made it. Instead of 12, it's 11. So as you can see, this build, it gets more and more accurate as time goes on. But yeah, watch, these are not gonna die. Yep, +1 to HP. They survive with 1 HP. Oh, and I'm also inflicting reverberation on these characters, which gives them -1 to their strength, Dex, Constitution saving throws. This is cool, I guess. Not making the biggest difference, but it'll make a bit of... See, this one has a reverberation as well. It's gonna make a better difference with teammates around, I guess. All reverberated. Back to my fog. But yeah, I could keep doing this and finishing these guys off, but this video, like I said, I tried to do this, it went up to like 30 minutes video, and the whole thing took like over hours, so I don't want to keep you guys waiting, but as you can see, the enemies have no chance. They just sit around and just keep calling reinforcement. It's a matter of time before they all die.